2:17 a.m., the black sedan returned. Same car, same driver. He walked inside and placed a bottle of water on the counter. I didn't say anything. He placed a $20 bill beside it. I looked at the date, June 14th, 2027, the exact same date as the bill from the night before. "You told me not to work tomorrow." The man looked at me. "I told you not to work tonight." I felt my stomach tighten. "You never said that." He leaned closer. "I did." Then he whispered, "You just haven't heard it yet." He turned and walked outside. I ran after him. The parking lot was empty. The sedan was gone. I looked down at the receipt in my hand. It showed the purchase: 1 bottle of water, $2.17. But underneath the total was a new line: customer, you. I looked toward pump 3. The display had changed. It now showed $0.00. Then the pump speaker crattled. My own voice came through: "Leave by 3:17. I checked the clock. 3:12 a.m. I grabbed my jacket. 5 minutes remained. I grabbed my jacket and ran toward the exit. 3:14 a.m. 3 minutes left. I reached for the door. It wouldn't open. I pulled harder. Nothing. Then I heard a car engine outside. I looked through the window. The black sedan was parked at pump 3. This time, someone was sitting inside. The driver slowly raised his head. It was me. Same face, same clothes. He smiled and pointed at the clock. 3:15 a.m. My phone vibrated. A message appeared from my own number. "Don't let him inside." I looked back at the sedan. The driver's door opened, and my copy stepped out. My copy stepped out of the sedan. He looked exactly like me. He walked toward the store without saying anything. I backed away from the door. 3:16 a.m. 1 minute. He stopped outside the glass. Then he smiled. My phone vibrated again. "Don't look into his eyes." I looked away. The copy raised one hand and tapped the window. Once, twice, 3 times. Then the store lights went out. Everything became completely dark. I heard the front door unlock. Slowly, the door opened. Someone stepped inside. I heard my own voice whisper, "You're not supposed to be here." Then the lights came back on. Nobody was standing at the door, but the $20 bill was lying on the floor. The date had changed. June 15th, 2027. I picked up the bill. The date was now June 15, 2027. Tomorrow. My hands started shaking. The store phone rang. I answered. My manager's voice whispered, "Listen carefully. Do not stay until 3:17. I know. No, you don't." There was a pause. At 3:17, the person who is supposed to die comes back. I looked through the window. The black sedan was gone. Who dies? My manager didn't answer. Instead, he whispered, "Check the security camera." I looked at the monitor. The screen showed the store from above. I was standing behind the counter, but there was another me standing directly behind me. I turned around. Nobody was there. Then the figure on the camera slowly raised its hand and pointed toward the register. I looked down. A new receipt was printing. Customer, my name, time 3:17 a.m. Then one final line appeared. Payment, your life. I stared at the receipt. Payment, your life. Then the store phone rang again. I didn't answer. It rang a second time, then a third. Finally, the ringing stopped. The front doors unlocked. I looked outside. The black sedan was back. This time, the driver's seat was empty. A second receipt came from the printer. I picked it up. Time 3:17 a.m. Customer, my name. Destination, pump 3. I checked the clock. 3:16. I grabbed my jacket and ran toward the back exit. The door opened. I stepped outside. Cold air hit my face. For 1 second, I thought I had escaped. Then I heard a car door close behind me. I turned. My copy was standing beside pump 3. He looked at me and said, "You left 5 minutes too late." I stepped away from pump 3. "What do you mean?" My copy pointed at the gas station. "Look at the clock." I checked my phone. 3:17 a.m. The entire station suddenly went dark. Then every pump turned on by itself. Pump 1, pump 2, pump 3, pump 4, all of them displayed the same amount, $2.17. My copy looked at me. "That's the price." "Price for what?" He smiled. "For the next year of your life." Behind him, the black sedan started its engine. Nobody was inside. My copy opened the passenger door. "Get in." I shook my head. "Why?" "Because if you don't," he looked toward the station, "the next version of you will." I got into the passenger seat. The door locked immediately. My copy started driving. "Where are we going?" He said, "Home." I looked at the dashboard. The clock showed 3:17 a.m., but outside the windows, everything looked wrong. The highway was empty. No streetlights, no buildings, just darkness. Then I noticed the date on the dashboard. June 15, 2027. I stared at my copy. Why is it 2027? He didn't look at me. Because we already left. Left what? The station. I looked back. The gas station was still behind us. We were driving away from it. But it was also somehow getting closer. Then my phone rang. The caller ID showed Blackwood Gas Station. I answered. My own voice whispered, "Don't trust the man driving." I looked at my copy. He smiled. too late. I stared at my copy. Stop the car. He didn't answer. I reached for the door. It wouldn't open. Then the radio turned on by itself. A news report was playing. Gas station employee found dead at 3:17 a.m. I looked at the date, June 15, 2027. The reporter continued, "Police have not identified the victim." My copy finally spoke. "That's you." I looked at him. "Then who are you?" He smiled. "I'm the one who gets to keep your year." The car suddenly stopped. Ahead of us was the gas station, but it wasn't the same gas station. The building was burned out, the windows were broken, and a police car was parked outside. My copy opened his door. "Come on." I stayed inside. Then someone knocked on my window. I turned. A police officer was standing there. He looked at me and whispered, "Don't get out." Then he looked toward my copy. "That's not your driver." I stayed inside the car. The officer pointed at my copy. "He's been driving this road for years." My copy laughed. "Don't listen to him." The officer stepped closer. "You need to leave before 3:17. I checked the dashboard. 3:16. Again, the same minute. The officer pulled open my door. "Get out." I jumped onto the road. My copy immediately disappeared. The burned gas station vanished too. I was standing in the normal parking lot. My manager was beside me. He looked terrified. "Where did you go?" I checked my phone. June 14th, 2026, 2:58 a.m. I looked at the clock. "That's impossible." My manager shook his head. "No." He pointed toward the register. A $20 bill was lying there. The date printed on it was June 14th, 2027. Then the store phone rang. My manager answered. He listened for a few seconds. Then he slowly handed me the phone. A familiar voice whispered, "You still have one night left." I looked at the $20 bill. June 14th, 2027. One night left. I put the phone down. "I'm not coming back tomorrow." My manager stared at me. "You don't understand." "I understand enough." I grabbed